Hi, welcome to the Economic Times Business Verticals. This is India AI Dialogues. My name is Soumik Ghosh. I'm Senior Assistant Editor with the Economic Times CIO. Joining me here is Mr. Bhuvnesh Kumar. He's the CEO of UIDAI. Bhuvnesh sir, thank you so much for joining us today.
My
It's an
pleasure. Thank you
absolute
so much.
pleasure to host you.
Thank you so much for having me here.
All right. Well, sir, for our audience tuned in, if you could tell them a little bit about the summit, AI Summit. It's the biggest, the first one in India, one of the biggest ones in the world. What do you think it's going to mean for AI in enterprises in India?
See, India AI Impact Summit is slightly different from the previous summits that have happened. And this is talking about the impact that AI is going to create. And as I understand, AI is going to touch every sector of the society. It is going to impact the common people, and it is going to impact the agriculture sector, the education sector, the health sector, the fintech, and then the overall technology sector. It is going to affect everything.
Right.
And there are a lot of potential opportunities arising out of it. And the way AI is moving ahead at the pace at which it's moving, so if we do not adopt it now, we are going to lag behind.
Right.
And that is why everybody who is doing any kind of productivity, any kind of business, should look at the opportunities that AI is bringing for them.
Right.
Right. And adopt it as quickly as possible so that they stay ahead of the curve. Tomorrow, people are not just going to ask you for simple solutions. They are going to look at how you are providing them the effective solutions and at a relatively lower cost.
Right.
And that is why this is going to be extremely important for everybody.
All right. Now, Bhuvnesh sir, a lot of our viewers tuned in. They lead technology or they are business leaders in large enterprises. They're deploying AI at scale, but very few institutes or very few entities have deployed AI to the extent UIDAI has to. If you can tell us, how do you play the scale game? How do you ensure that you're able to deploy this AI and it's able to scale up and meet your business objectives?
So, see, the main function of UIDI is to provide the identity services.
Right.
So you can divide them into actually two aspects. So first aspect is enrollments and updates, and the other aspect is the authentication and verification.
Right.
And these are the two major jobs that we do. On the enrollment side, we see people come to us for new Aadhars, and that's where we ask for their biometrics. And based on the biometric deduplication and the demographic deduplication, we issue a new Aadhaar number. Right. So that is an area where we have seen kinds of frauds in the biometrics and in the documents supplied.
Correct.
So AI can help us prevent all those kinds of frauds and in a very significant improved way.
Right.
Right. And can make the job easier, which means if we can stop these frauds at the time of enrollment, then we can increase the trust of the Aadhaar and the information provided by Aadhaar for anybody using Aadhaar, including the individuals and the entities. So that's the first aspect. Similarly, whatever happens in the enrollment happens in the updates also. People trying to change their date of birth, change wrong addresses, trying to manipulate photographs, and all those things they try, and AI can really help us. Though we have certain models which are already deployed, but I think with the new wave of AI, they're going to be far more improvement.
Okay.
The second size is authentication, and which is more important for the entities.
Correct.
All those entities which are providing services. For example, let's say bank is opening an account. The telecom company is providing a SIM. Now, for them, identity verification is extremely important.
Right.
And the authentication happens through biometrics. Mm-hmm. So it can happen through fingerprints or face or iris, and sometimes through mobile OTP verification. And people will try to do frauds there. Instead of a fingerprint, they're trying to a spoofed finger, right? Or maybe it's not really a live finger, it's a printout which has been taken and which is people are trying to place. And similarly, in the face authentication, people are trying to play a video instead of a real live person.
Exactly.
And that's where the AI comes into picture, which ensures that through improved models, we can have liveness check both for the fingerprints as well as the face authentication.
Right.
And the face authentication is becoming really popular. We have seen the growth of face authentication because it brings a lot of ease. with fingerprint authentication, you have to go to a place where fingerprint machine is available.
Right.
But with face authentication, because it is available on mobile,
Right.
so you have an app, simply you download the app, and through the face authentication on the mobile, you can prove your identity anytime, anywhere. Right. And that's why it is prone to risk. And that's where we are working with a large number of startups and industries to make sure that it remains safe, secure, and trusted. And those AI models are going to help us maintaining sanity of this kind of a system.
All right. Well, Bhuvnesh, sir, the other question I had, immediately following this point, of course, is we know security leaders, and we know the industry is gunning for data minimization. But then again, you need a lot of data to ensure that your AI models are working perfectly. How are you balancing this equation between data and security at UIDAI?
Yeah, great. I mean, a great question. But if you look at the structure of the Aadhaar, Aadhaar right from the beginning has worked on the principle of data minimization. In fact, I don't know if you are aware, we only have 9 fields in the database of Aadhaar. That's all.
Right.
So we have the 3 biometrics: the fingerprint, the iris, and the facial image. So there are 3 biometrics. Then there are 4 demographics: name, age, gender, and address.
Right.
And apart from this, there are 2 optional fields: mobile number and the email. So this is all that data we have, and we have to make all the play on this.
Correct.
Right. And the whole system works on this. Apart from that, the biometrics which are captured, they are kept secure. They never go out. And we do training on those models in-house completely. For the industry and for the startups, we have created something which is known as sandbox. Okay. So we have totally anonymized data of certain numbers kept in the sandbox, which is not shared with anybody as such outside, but they are allowed to bring their own models, work them in the sandbox environment, use that data. So it's like bringing model into the data and not taking data to the model.
Right.
Right. And you run it on the data and you see the results. You take the results and the model back. You go back, do a fine tuning. You come back, you run it again, and you see your results. And when you think that it's model ready to go, you deploy it.
Absolutely. I think that's a very important point, considering the last example we saw of a major electronics organization suffering a data breach because one of their employees copied and pasted sensitive information on a ChatGPT window. So I think, sandbox environment is going to be really good for that. Now, the last question I had for you, sir, is like UPI, UIDAI has also been looked at at different countries, different nations. You have a lot of African nations which are expressing interest. You also have Bolivia that's recently in conversation. How do you see UIDAI being adopted in these countries? And also, how does it work across different data requirement or data privacy laws, etc.?
So digital identity is a requirement today all over the world.
Right.
So many countries are looking at different models.
Right.
The India's model is based on biometrics and 3 biometrics. So it's a biometric foundational digital identity, right? And it is based on open source. There are no proprietary softwares involved in the system, and it is directly under the control of the country and not under control of anybody else. The data is local. So it's a fully sovereign foundational identity available to us. And that's why many countries have shown interest in this. And we have time and again given presentation to many countries. In fact, today also we had the Honorable Vice President of Seychelles visiting us, and we spent about 2.5 hours, and he's very, very keen. We are going to have a meeting with Bolivia. Recently, we are doing it for Sri Lanka, Fiji. Many countries have shown interest, and these open source models are attracting.
Right.
And through an institute called National Institute of Smart Government, we are helping some of the countries. And Ministry of Electronics and IT has set up a project which is known as ICDIA, and this is International Center for DPI Innovation and Advancement.
Okay.
So it is going to help many other countries, not only in the digital ID, but all other kinds of DPIs also, including UPI, DigiLocker, ONDC, or e-office. Many of these India stack DPIs can then be deployed in those countries through the system integrators.
Right.
And NISG and ICDIA can play the role of a project management unit. So this is going to be the soft digital power or diplomatic power of India going to those countries.
Absolutely. I mean, it definitely looks like bright times ahead for India and UIDI. That was Mr. Bhuvnesh Kumar. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us. It was an absolute pleasure hosting you today.
Thank you so much. Lovely.
Thank you, sir.